Fentanyl addiction has become one of the most dangerous substance issues affecting men today. Because fentanyl is extremely potent and often hidden inside other drugs, many men do not realize they are using it until dependence and withdrawal take hold. This video is here to explain what makes fentanyl addiction different, what to expect if fentanyl use has become a problem, and what real recovery requires for men. My name's Chris Burwash. I'm the founder and CEO of Into Action, and I'm also a man in long-term recovery. I've lived addiction firsthand, and I built Into Action to address substances like fentanyl honestly, with structure, accountability, and a long-term approach built for men. Fentanyl affects the brain and body far more aggressively than many other opioids. It binds tightly to opioid receptors and creates rapid tolerance and dependence. Many men are exposed to fentanyl unknowingly through counterfeit pills or drugs sold as heroin, oxycodone, or other substances. Once dependence develops, stopping becomes extremely difficult without support. Fentanyl addiction in men often escalates quickly. What begins as occasional use can turn into daily dependence in a short period of time. Men may find themselves using simply to avoid withdrawal rather than to get high. As tolerance increases, doses rise, and the risk of overdose grows significantly. Warning signs of fentanyl addiction can include secrecy, financial strain, withdrawal from relationships, and drastic changes in behavior. Many men become isolated, emotionally numb, or irritable. Priorities shift as avoiding withdrawal becomes the primary focus. Physical symptoms of fentanyl addiction often include extreme fatigue, flu-like symptoms between doses, digestive issues, changes in sleep, and declining health. Emotionally and psychologically, men may experience anxiety, depression, hopelessness, and difficulty feeling pleasure. Over time, fentanyl can strip away motivation, identity, and self-respect. Fentanyl withdrawal is one of the most intense aspects of recovery. Withdrawal symptoms can include severe body aches, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, chills, sweating, anxiety, restlessness, insomnia, and overwhelming cravings. While fentanyl withdrawal is rarely life-threatening on its own, it is extremely uncomfortable and often leads men back to use without structured support. Because of the intensity of fentanyl withdrawal, attempting to quit alone frequently results in relapse. The discomfort and fear associated with withdrawal can make continued use feel like the only option. Without a structured environment, the cycle often continues and becomes more dangerous over time. Long-term fentanyl use carries serious risks. Fentanyl addiction significantly increases the risk of overdose, respiratory depression, and death. It also impacts mental health, emotional stability, and decision-making. Many men experience profound disconnection from their families, careers, and sense of purpose. Fentanyl addiction requires a structured, disciplined approach to recovery. At Into Action, we work with men who are ready to step out of survival mode and begin rebuilding their lives. Structure, accountability, and consistency are essential because fentanyl addiction thrives in chaos and desperation. Into Action Recovery in Phoenix, Arizona provides fentanyl addiction treatment designed specifically for men. Our approach combines evidence-based clinical care, 12-step integration, physical restoration, and a men-only recovery environment. Clinically, we focus on relapse prevention, emotional regulation, and rebuilding stability after opioid dependence through therapies such as cognitive behavioral therapy, trauma-informed care, and motivational interviewing. The 12-step component of our fentanyl addiction treatment is non-religious and focused on honesty, responsibility, and internal change. Men learn how to rebuild trust in themselves, develop coping skills, and reconnect with purpose without relying on substances. Physical recovery and routine are also critical in fentanyl addiction treatment. Long-term opioid use disrupts sleep, energy, and overall health. Through structured schedules, physical conditioning, nutrition, and consistent daily habits, men begin restoring strength and stability. Recovery here is active and intentional. Brotherhood plays a major role in fentanyl addiction treatment at Into Action. Men recover alongside other men who understand the intensity, fear, and isolation tied to opioid addiction. This is not a passive support system. It is a community built on accountability, honesty, and shared responsibility. Recovery from fentanyl addiction is not about willpower alone. It is about rebuilding a life that no longer revolves around avoiding withdrawal. At Into Action, we focus from the beginning on long-term recovery. Transition planning, continued accountability, and ongoing connection help men maintain progress after treatment. Fentanyl addiction does not have to define your future. With the right structure, support, and commitment, men can recover and stay recovered. If you recognize yourself or someone you love in this description, Into Action is here to help. Our fentanyl addiction treatment program in Phoenix, Arizona is built for men who are ready to take responsibility and change. So get into action today and give us a call.